What happens if Mojang added pirates and ships to Minecraft? Now, before we get started with anything, guys, I just want to say that this video is not scripted, so I'm kind of just talking my feelings. It's always been a thing to me that above the ocean, it's just boring, you know? There's so much opportunity and potential to add to the oceans to make them so much more fascinating and cooler. And that's what I was thinking recently. What happens if we had more types of boats, more creatures above the ocean, you know, more things to do with the ocean, you know, just more ocean stuff in general that doesn't necessarily involve going down underneath the sea trying to clean out an ocean monument, you know? What happens if there was something more than that we could actually do? And that's when I thought, you know, what happens if we added a whole new kind of system into Minecraft? Something like, I don't know, boats and pirates and trade merchants and so many really cool things. Now hold up, you know, you're probably already saying, we do have a good old boat. You know, what's wrong with our boat? There's nothing wrong with it. And you are 100% right. There is nothing wrong with our current boats. But, you know, as Minecraft develops further and further, it's getting a bit boring. Firstly though, let's start with it all. Imagine Minecraft with other types of villagers in the sea. Now I'm not talking about our standard villagers, I'm talking about trade merchants that ride on boats in the ocean. Yes, actual merchants. Imagine sitting there at your Minecraft base on your beach and maybe, for instance, you decide to go ahead and grab your fishing rod and go fishing. And next minute you see sailing towards you is a beautiful trade ship. And down below the ship docks and then some villagers come off it. Of course they could be a little bit different, you know, not the normal whatever villagers we have, but maybe more like, you know, actual looking characters in Minecraft. I don't know if Mojang would ever do that, but imagine people like mobs wanting to trade with you, you know, as they dock, they come aboard and then you could trade with them and stuff. And if you're wondering how, of course, you could just simply, they could do something like villagers where you could just hold onto them and access the inventory, but they could even do something more different, something more interesting. Imagine if they could make things like trade posts or trade-in blocks or some type of thing that you place and then you could just trade with the villagers. That would be pretty darn cool, and you could trade all kinds of cool things from conduits to seashells to kelp to treasure maps to really anything. These are just friendly guys on the sea sailing their ships, and if they see a player nearby, they could dock near your base and want to trade with you if you had the acquired block trading post or something like that. Now yes, that's all really cool and stuff, and I mean, more types of trading would be really cool. Think of these as the villagers of the sea. Another cool thing about this would be, for instance, say if you didn't have a base near the sea. How would this work? Alright, so say you're walking around your Minecraft world and you get to a coastline. Imagine if there was little camps of these trading villagers just sitting there and you could see their boat docked right next to them. Now imagine these villagers leaving the camps if they got scared. For instance, if you shot at them or tried to attack them, they'd flee their campsite on the side of the beach, go back into their ship and swim away. That would add so much more depth to Minecraft and would make trying to explore the coastline a little bit more interesting. If you didn't scare them, you could build your trading block and trade with them. That would be super cool. But now, as cool as it would be to have these new types of trading villagers of the sea, you know, something else that Minecraft really lacks is more bosses, more mobs to fight. Yes, the new cave update coming soon is bringing out all these new mobs in the caves, but still, they're not really bosses. When was the last time they added a proper boss with a HP bar? For example, the Wither or the Ender Dragon. Yes, maybe you could say the Elder Guardian under the sea is a boss, but it doesn't even have a health bar, and it's pretty easy to kill. So Minecraft is really lacking new bosses to fight, and this is where another section of these sea villagers or sea merchants could come in. Imagine if there could also be bad ones. You know what I'm talking about. Pirates. Pirates in Minecraft. Now these guys could have their own little ships that could spawn around in the sea, and then if they saw your base near the coastline, for instance, they could even shoot cannons out of their ships. They could be cool little pirate-based mobs, you know, something maybe like a villager or maybe like the illagers and stuff like that. but maybe more, you know, pirate themed with a pirate hat. Like imagine a villager with a pirate hat. A little bit more grumpy though, you know. You don't want our normal derpy villagers on pirate ships. That wouldn't be really scary. But something like that. And then imagine them shooting cannonballs out their pirate ship, trying to destroy your base near the coastline. Okay, you're probably thinking, man, that would be really irritating. But then imagine another thing, alright? Imagine if Mojang added certain types of barriers or things like territory blocks or territory posts that you could place in the ocean, and that would stop any pirates from entering that sea. However, it could also stop normal merchants from going into your sea. So it's kind of like a win-lose situation. You're stopping pirates from potentially destroying your base, but you're also not letting trade merchants enter, which could be irritating, but it's a cost you have to decide. And that's where these cool territory blocks would be really cool, like just floating little bubbles in the sea that have your own flag, you know. Imagine being able to customize your own little flag using banners and stuff and putting them on these little floating things, and that would just signal your territory, and then pirates and merchants, they can't go over to those territories. It's your sea. And now continuing with the pirate story, basically pirates would be really cool. Now when I say they spawn on ships, I don't mean like our little dinky boats we have in Minecraft. I'm talking about nice big scaled ships. So after raiding these pirates, you know, for instance, you could go aboard the ship and maybe somehow make it in a way that it's not like our normal boats where you can kind of just go through them. Maybe make them like solid entities, something that you can't just glide through, that you could actually climb aboard and attack the pirates on top. Imagine if you killed all the pirates, then there would be a certain button or certain thing you would have to do, and then it would destroy the ship, and then it would give you a little item that you could place and then spawn the ship back, and just like with normal boats. And there could be multiple different types of pirate ships, so it's, you know, it's random which one you'll get, and you can have a whole collection of cool little pirate ships to spawn. But then another thing, something more that could even add more interest into these pirate ships spawning around, is that every time you kill one of these pirates, they could drop some type of special loot or some type of thing. I haven't actually got an idea of what this could be, so maybe you guys will know what would be a cool thing for the pirates to drop. But in all, it would be something being able to use to summon something much, much bigger. Of course though, they could also drop things like cutlasses and cool little swords that you can't make anywhere else. Maybe they wouldn't do too much damage, maybe something similar to a golden sword, but it would still be pretty cool to get custom loot. Think of it as like a trident that is dropped by the drowns, except this is a cutlass dropped by pirates when you kill them. Okay, so back to that type of loot that the pirates would drop that I didn't know what to call. Imagine if you killed enough pirates and collected enough of this loot that you could use it to build some type of spawner or some type of map or some type of thing that would summon an even bigger boss. You know, like how you use 3 ender skulls and some soul sand, 3 wither skulls and some soul sand to summon the wither? Something like that, maybe a map or something, but in this case it summons a huge pirate ship. And on this pirate ship there could be a boss, maybe like Blackbeard or something, some ghost pirate or some big boss pirate that goes on a bigger, even bigger ship once you summon it, and you have to fight it off. Imagine that, having ocean battles in Minecraft with other ships, you know, shooting cannonballs, and you have to try and get aboard the ship and kill or destroy all the other pirates, and then there's the final pirate boss that will attack you and you have to kill him, and then if you defeat him, you get a really special rare item. Now what is this rare item, of course? Imagine if you destroyed it and it dropped a base block. Now what is a base block? Well, this is my own idea of something that would enable a huge amount of possibility in Minecraft, and I think it would just make all this pirate stuff and pirate bosses all worthwhile. So what is this base block? Alright, so once you destroy the Blackbeard ghost or whatever, the new big boss of the ocean, it drops this cool little plate, and if you get this plate you can place it on the ocean, and then it makes an actual base that you can build blocks on top of the ocean. Now this sounds silly, you know, you can kind of do that if you connect it to the shoreline or dig or build up from the ocean bed, then you can build on top of the ocean, yes, you can do that. But something you can't do is you can't move it on the water. So imagine this base plate allowed you to build on top of water and also allow these blocks to move on water. You know, think of something that when you make those move-in vehicles out of redstone and slime blocks, something like that, except on the ocean, and you can actually build ships that will actually move on the water. Now, for instance, say one base plate, if you get it, you can build a small little dinky ship. However, if you defeat the pirate boss a couple more times, or a couple hundred more times, you can get more plates, and more plates, and more plates, and then somehow you could be able to connect these plates to make an even bigger base to build on. Then you could build humongous ships. Now you're probably wondering, alright, how could I move this? Well, that's where you could make more blocks, you know, more buildable blocks could be made, such as maybe a steering wheel, or I don't know what it's called for ships, but you get what I'm saying. Your steering wheel connects to the plate and you can actually see it in front of you, and then you can actually use that to drive your ship and move it. So for instance, on the mobile edition of Minecraft, when you go use a boat, you kind of just push the 2 arrows forward and you move with your hand. Maybe this wouldn't be needed. Maybe you could actually turn a wheel or something like that to move your ship. And you could put this wheel on whichever plate you want, and that will become your main plate, which you use to control your whole ship. I think this would be such a cool feature to Minecraft, and would really add so much more building potential. And it would make people actually want to take on the pirate boss, because imagine that. Alright, I need a couple more plates, let's just take on the pirate boss a few more times. And I mean, it could be really fun. But hey, that's not all the new blocks they could add. I was talking earlier about a cannonball. Imagine a placeable cannonball that you could place on your ship. You could, of course, though, also just place it on normal dirt or normal terrain. You know, you don't have to place it on the plate. And then you can just have, in general, a cannonball. But then you can also put it on your ship if you want to. And you can shoot cannonballs at other ships. I think that'd be really cool. Imagine going on multiplayer and having pirate wars or ship wars, or actually having ship battles with other players. That would be absolutely insane. And hey, I mean, in the new cave update they added a telescope. A telescope would be a lot cooler if it was something that the pirates could drop, or you could see the pirates using them in game and stuff like that. Imagine on your coastline, building a nice little bench, drinking your bucket of milk, and then you look to the horizon and you see a ship sailing towards you with the pirate looking through a telescope at you. Another thing that they could add, or a feature, would be in areas where there's buried treasure, it would be more likely for a pirate ship to spawn. Obviously the normal pirate ships, not the big boss. But that would make it easier for you to find pirate ships. Maybe there would be a less chance just in the random oceans, and then a huge or higher chance to see pirate ships spawn when you're in areas where there's buried treasure. That would also add more fun to buried treasure, and maybe the normal trade merchants from the sea could also trade you treasure maps or something like that. It would just add so much more detail and so much more fun to the ocean. I mean, this is all pretty crazy and it's probably never gonna happen. I mean, it'd be really cool to trade with villagers that come from the sea, and if you scare them, they leave the campsite and they swim away, and then you get pirates, you know. That would be amazing, that you could actually fight, collect loot, then build or spawn an even bigger pirate ship that could drop you a build plate that you could use to build whatever you want on the ocean and sell it. Anyways guys, that's basically it. This is kind of just a ramble of what if Mojang added pirates to Minecraft. None of this is official, but we just kind of wanted to give our ideas. It's more of a chill video. Anyways guys, what do you guys think of pirates and trade merchants in Minecraft? What do you think of the build block? Do you think it's a good idea or not? Or the build plate, should I say? Or do you think it's trash, and do you think oceans are fine as it is? You know, comment down below, and you know, please like this video and share it, and maybe Mojang will see it. Maybe they'll implement some of these features, because boy, fighting Blackbeard in Minecraft and then building a floating Titanic, boy, that really sounds fun. Anyway guys, that's gonna wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time, and with that, have a wonderful day and keep sailing the seas.